Doing okay?
I'm present.
I did.
Oh, you're looking at this. I think y'all go what first do.
You can read that?
I can now. Yeah, I can.
This is a special meeting, May 13th, 5:15 PM. I'll call the roll. AG?
Here.
Adams?
Here.
Byrd?
Present.
Carroll? Dumas? Gaddy?
Here.
Harden?
Present.
Holcomb? Jackson?
Present.
Patricia Johnson?
Present.
Reginald Johnson?
Present.
Marguerite Williams?
Present.
Franklin? Okay.
The Judicial Committee is called to order. We have two items that was presented to us. We have an appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 1906 6th Division.
Move we pass it on to the Finance Committee with a due pass recommendation.
It's been moved and properly second. Question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passed on to the Finance Committee with a due pass. Second item, an appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 3505 drug court accountability.
Move we pass it on to the Finance Committee with a due pass.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That ends my report.
Next we got Budget and Finance, Justice Ted Harden.
Budget Finance Committee called to order. We had these two items come from the Judicial Committee. Both of them were related to the judges. One of them is an appropriation ordinance to provide appropriation to fund 6th Division. What's your pleasure? Okay, I have a motion to move it on to the, and a second to move it to finance to the full court with a due pass. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes. Yes, Carol.
why was this item not sent to the clerk's office to be included in the budget that is produced in the clerk's office? Procedure on this tax pass?
I did not know it wasn't sent to the clerk's office. Was it not? I didn't know it went to her first. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Follow up, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
We indicated in a memorandum, I believe, to all of the officials that those requests should go to the clerk's office and to continue to pass legislation that is opportunity to procedure on this. I'm not. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, no.
No.
Okay. We have one abstention. The motion passes. Second item is an appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 3505 drug court accountability. What's your pleasure? It came to us with a due pass recommendation from the Judicial Committee.
Motion to send it on to the full court with a due pass.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I would make the same argument, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Carol.
I would make the same.
You abstain? Okay. All in favor on the committee? Okay. Any opposed? We have one abstention. Any
No.
others? We have any others? Then motion passes on to the full court with a due pass recommendation. This concludes the Finance Committee meeting.
Okay, let me have it. Quorum Court will Come to order, we have, this is the full court meeting, May 13th. You ready? Already recording? Okay, good. All right. Justice Adams, would you lead us in prayer, please?
We bow, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you allowed us to see. We come asking you now, you just come in the midst of this meeting and give us strength that we might continue to do your will. This is our prayer in the precious name of Jesus. We ask it all. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Adams. Agee. Byrd. Carroll. Dumas. Franklin.
Here.
Gaddy. Hardin.
Present.
Holcomb. Jackson. Patricia Johnson. Reginald Johnson. Marguerite Williams.
Next, we have a special presentation. These gentlemen would like to talk about a business that we have come to Jefferson County. Nothing that we have to vote on or anything of that nature. They just want to, they're part of Lone Oak and Jefferson County. So it is the Lone Oak Wind Project. And so, sir, give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about what you got going on. State your name. And
Rob Evans, I'm a developer with Swift Current Energy, and with me I have our Chief Development Officer and founder, William Kelsey.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having us.
We appreciate the invite and being able to address the court. We just wanted to tell you that we have a project we're developing in mostly Lone Oak and a little bit of Jefferson County that is roughly 19,000 acres. And we filed an interconnection application with MISO, with the Regional Transmission Authority, and we're just, we're looking to be long-term partners in the community. We're hoping to be here for 50 years with the owners, operators. We build, develop the project, and own it long-term. So I didn't know if anyone had any questions. I did have a presentation, but I would love to meet with any Quorum court members maybe when we have more time.
okay, tell them a little bit about what that's going to mean to Jefferson County.
This will be an opportunity. Most of the communities we come into, we usually try and become partners with by. Usually there's a community benefits agreement.
Not usually.
Always community benefits agreement that we sign with. We agree with the community and work out. It's a way to hopefully be partners with the community we're working at.
Okay. So let them know what area of Jefferson County that you're in right now.
This would be the northern part of Jefferson County right now.
Okay. And how many windmills, wind deals?
We don't know the number yet. Right now, we've leased 19,000 acres, and basically that was for the interconnection application with MISO. 350 megawatts, would be somewhere between 60 and 70 wind turbines. So we're working with the landowners in that area. The first step would be modeling the wind and seeing what the wind regime is. There also is the study that MISO will do that will take years to see what upgrades would be needed to connect it to the electrical system in the area. But that's a number we'll come to at a later date once we get further development process.
It means tax money for Jefferson County?
It does, yes it does.
Okay. All right. Okay, good deal.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said two things. You said fiber optics in your initial. You get closer to that.
So Bob Evans.
Bob Evans, out of Carroll. You said two things. Your initial statement, you said fiber optics. And then I heard you say something about electricity.
This wouldn't be fiber optics. This would just be to create electricity. So,
To create electricity.
wind farm, creating up to 350 megawatts.
What we used to call windmills.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what a lot of people still call them.
In northern Jefferson County.
There's land we have leased in northern Jefferson County, but we don't know where the turbines will be placed at this
Is
point.
that northern Jefferson County, maybe across the river, what are we talking about? Geographically.
Yeah. Here you go. Here, I'll walk around and show everybody the map.
Wherever we go.
You know where Pine Bluff is? Pine Bluff's not on the map.
This is,
Pine Bluff is not on the map.
Not mentioned.
this here would be England,
Okay.
so it would be, the Jefferson County line is somewhere in this area.
So it would be across the river. We'll be talking about across the river, Judge.
Yes.
We're talking about-
Yes. We're talking about in the Tucker, Ferta,
The Tucker area,
yeah,
sir.
Tucker area. And that was 19,000 acres.
So, yeah, why don't I build on a little bit of what Bob said? So, what we've done so far is we've come to the community and we are trying to plan a wind farm in this geographic area that Bob just mentioned. And so what we're doing right now is we've really conducted a land campaign and we've signed up with, private landowners that control about 19,000 acres right now. And the leases that we have with the private landowners is for about 19,000 acres right now. And we're optimizing our land footprint right now so that we can fill in some of the blanks so we have a more contiguous piece of property so that we can then start planning the layout of a wind farm. And, as Bob mentioned, what did you say, 60 to 70 wind turbines? That is highly dependent on which model wind turbine we end up picking. But I think the main thing that we would like you guys to consider, first of all, we'd like to really thank everybody here for hearing what we have to say, and we consider the community as one of our main partners. When we develop projects like these and other places around the country, we always develop these projects with the idea that we're being hosted by our landowners, being hosted by the local communities that we work within, and we come to these communities with the desire to be, one of the best corporate citizens that you guys have in your community. And so the reason we're here today is to begin that relationship with you guys and let you know what's going on. And this is not, as we go through the presentation, one thing you'll realize is that we don't have the exact answers for everything that you might ask us for, and that's because we're early in the process of developing the project. And we think that it's important to develop relationships with all of our constituents early on in the process so that we can take into account the considerations of the local community so that we don't have to go back and redo design or anything else because we've made a mistake and violated some expectation from the local community. And that allows us to get to know each other, and it allows us to make proper decisions about the project from day one going forward, which makes the whole process more efficient for us and less disruptive for the community. And so the economic life of a project like this is 50 plus years. And when we develop these sorts of projects, we develop them for our own account. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we're gonna do all the groundwork. We're gonna do all the groundwork, meaning lease up the land, work with the landowners. We're gonna do all the design work make sure that the wind farm fits into the landscape so that our landowners, who are also farmers, you know, a wind farm is really just an additional form of income for a farm. You know, it's farming first, wind farm second. And so we have to make sure that our wind farm fits on the land in a way that still allows farming, including the use of aerial application, herbicides, and all the things that they need to, you know, fly onto the land to allow for successful farming. So, you know, like earlier today, we were meeting with some of the aerial application companies in the area to hear their thoughts about things. And so we handle this project from soup to nuts. We lease the land, get to know our landowners, we get to know the communities in which we're developing a project like this. We design the project so that it fits into the landscape and achieves all of the mutual goals that we have together with the local community and our landowners. Then once we've done that, we build the project. And then once we've built the project, it transitions from being a project in development to being a project in operations. And we have an operations and maintenance group within our company that operates and maintains these projects, and we keep them in our portfolio of projects for the long term. Some of our peers, what they would do is they would develop this project until it was shovel ready, and then they would sell it to somebody else. And that's not what we did. Yes, ma'am.
For persons like myself who may not know about wind farms, what is the final goal and objective to wind farms, and why it's so valuable in a particular project?
Well, it's just another way of producing electricity. Like there are some coal plants, and I think even a gas-fired power plant that's gotten so old they're going out of service. And so now there's room on the electrical grid here in this area. And so the addition of a project like this will provide a renewable source of energy to the local area. It will also add grid stability to the area, because as these other power plants come offline, you know, the grid is designed to incorporate the input of the electricity from those other power plants.
So it can enlarge itself over time. You can move from where you are in the northern part of the area, other areas.
Well, we could do that, and if we did that, we would do it in a second phase. Maybe it would be called Lone Oak Wind Phase 2 or something like that. And so, yeah, it is a business that could grow in the area. And I think kind of in addition to bringing, you know, tax income into the county, it also, you know, it creates jobs. During construction, there'll be 300 to 400 workers on the site. And we make a real effort to work with our, you know, what we do is we contract with EPC contractors from around the nation, you know, who specialize in building these big projects. They bring to the site kind of the, you know, the site supervision, let's say. And then they hire all the local craft employees that would work on the site from the local community.
This is an early question, but can you give some idea of the possibilities of income?
You mean for an employee?
No, for this generating for Jefferson County. What does it look like? I know it's preliminary. I know this is early.
Yeah, I don't have an idea of that, but that is something we can talk about in the future, and we obviously would be willing to share with you, because we're going to have to work it out with you guys.
Yeah.
And there's like a mathematical equation that gets applied to that, which I don't know off the top of my head. But the other thing we can do that Bob mentioned is we like to do community benefit programs. You know, like we like to, you know, some of the things we've done at other projects, we've created, we've worked with local community colleges to start a technician program where young people come and learn how renewable energy projects work. We've done things like that.
Can it be a part of your contract so that we know that that will happen?
Well, we would sign a community benefits agreement, and it would be written in there.
Okay, okay.
Justice Carroll?
Thank you, sir. Two things. I like that community thing. And most companies that do come in, they are very interested in partnering with our two institutions of higher work. But we have a significant problem in Jefferson County with making sure we're providing the kind of nurturing, futuristic opportunities for youth. So they put down the guns.
Yes.
They get away from the drugs. They get away from the violence. There was a program once in Texas, and we may have had it here similar, where youth, upper elementary, junior high school, participated in mentoring programs where they actually earn money to go into facilities like yours or Welcome to Go. And I would be very much attracted to something that did not step over the universities and see art, but look to make a dent and make an impression on our young people. And the other thing I was saying, I'll be through, is just Bob, that when you guys get ready to come back, I don't know how long we're going to be having this dual meeting thing going on. But I would certainly appreciate it if your communication not only went to the judge, but to the clerk's office, so that all of us get an opportunity to be aware that you're coming, and get a better opportunity to know you guys and have a better relationship. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
We'd be happy to do that. And to build on what you said about youth programs, you know, one of the things I've noticed across the nation with young people, particularly after having COVID, you know, that whole period of time that was so disruptive to everybody. You know, young people, aside from what they look at on the internet and see on the television, I really feel like, just like we're here talking to you guys today, people need to have perspective, and the only way to have perspective is through personal interaction. And, you know, really what we represent as an industry is, you know, everybody calls it energy transition. I think that's the wrong way to think about it, because you know, we're not transitioning away from 100% of traditional thermal power generation to renewables. We're getting rid of some old technology, replacing it with new, reliable, renewable technology. And I think one of the most important things for young people is to have perspective about those trends that are happening in the nation. And it gives them something to get excited about, and something to be inspired by, and something to want to strive to learn more about and maybe get involved in when they're older in life and trying to take care of themselves. And so that's clearly something that a benefit that we'd like to bring by entering these new communities.
And this is no fiber optics, no internet.
No, it's just 100% electricity made with big wind turbines.
Was there another presentation?
Yeah.
Would you guys come back with the paperwork
Yes.
and numbers and
Sure.
So I've got some.
trends and?
We can actually send it
estimates?
electronically to the clerks and she can distribute it to you guys.
Very good.
It was the presentation I have some hard copies that I can
Yes,
give out.
Justice Burke.
Introduce this one.
Yes.
Is there a way
I'm trying, I don't have,
There are a lot of things that we can do to make them more safe for wind applicators. And, you know, we've developed a bunch of these projects up
that's
in
one I don't have too.
and they grow different
But I
kind of
can
crops
send
down
these, I can email these to.
down here. And so,
I'll definitely
the use of aerial application of fertilizer and herbicides and all the things that a farmer needs to efficiently farm their land. That happens more often down here than it does up in Illinois. And so we had our first meetings today with some of those companies, and we were just talking about kind of the considerations that we need to take into account as we're designing our projects. And it turns out that some of the things that we really care about, they also care about. And it's one of the things that I mentioned earlier, which was the concept of making sure that our project fits on the landscape in a way that allows for farming and allows for everybody that services those farms to provide their work. And I know that sounds like a roundabout way to answer your question, but we work with our landowners to site the turbines. We've also agreed with the aerial applicators to, is that the right thing to call them? Aerial applicators? Okay. So that when we're considering where to put these turbines, we're also considering how they would enter and leave a field if they were applying chemicals. And so we're going to do that. And that's an ongoing conversation that we won't know the complete answer to until we're finished having the conversation. But it's something we're going to pay very close attention to and make sure that we build a safe wind farm that can be navigated by aerial applicators in a safe way. And,
Okay.
And that includes the net towers we would put up. You know, really, there's only two things that we stick up into the air. It would be wind turbines and meteorological towers, which we use to measure the weather conditions, and also they help in forecasting the performance of the wind farm.
Okay, we're going to entertain one more question, then we're going to have to go ahead and cut it.
Quick question. I heard a lot of talk about what you're saying. So let me get the ballpark answer, or I guess a simple answer on what it is that you do. We understand the whole windmills and all of this. So you're creating electricity. So once the electricity is created on behalf of, I guess, the company, are you then selling the electricity to residents, or are you selling it back to energy, or what's going on with the energy?
We sell it to utilities and third-party corporations. You know, we could sell energy. It's a mouthful.
And that was going to be my next question. With the current regulations in place right now, can an entity actually sell back to energy? Because I think currently with residents, they're able to sell it back, but it's for just a credit. So would that change with you all, or how would that work?
Well, we would have, you know, we sell energy on a wholesale basis to either a utility or a third-party company, or maybe even a company that wanted to build something inside the footprint of our actual project. And we don't know the details of that yet, but those are all the options. And to answer your question about whether or not we sell to residential customers, we do not.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm sure that we're going to be hearing from you in the future. And when you come back, you can do a slideshow, whatever needs to be done. And
yeah, and if we'd love to meet with anybody and everybody about this. And you know, I'm happy to come back, and Bob's happy to come back, and happy to you know, educate everybody that they need to be educated about this.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, if you would, if you don't mind. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. All right. Thank you. Last week, there was a miscommunication. We had a backup internet people here that wanted to do a presentation during the committee meeting, and I mistook them for this meeting. And so I sent them away. So I'm gonna give them, even though it's they're just making a little presentation. So I'm gonna let you guys, I'm gonna give you about 3 or 4 minutes. I know it's cutting you short, and so go ahead and come forward, state your name, and
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Larry Treadway. I'm from Little Rock. I've been in telecommunications for 28 years. I've brought my solutions engineer, Mr. Brian Mahoney, and my boss, Mr. Jerry Fleenor. Some of my current customers here in Pine Bluff are Jefferson Casino, all of the public schools here, Pine Bluff Cottonville Federal Credit Union. I just won all of the bids for the libraries that are being put in, for the fiber optics. And all of those. We do no residential services. It's all business quality fiber optics. They go to the businesses. And what we're proposing is a failover circuit, because right now you just have an AT&T fiber optic circuit. If it gets cut, equipment or electronics fail, the sheriff's office, the juvenile detention center, and the courthouse is dead in the water. I've already had a meeting with Mr. Elger. He has kind of shown me around, showing me how he's got his firewalls all configured and everything. So what we're proposing is a backup circuit. The speed is 1 gig, and that's 1 gig up and 1 gig down. It will be dedicated to the sheriff's office and the juvenile detention center and to this courthouse. It is not a shared facility like your other internet providers, like for your home uses and stuff like that. You have a presentation in front of you right now that I had left on there. Our home base is out of Kansas City, Missouri right now. We're a 26-year-old company. We provide fiber optics to business only, no residential. Our main thing is I used to work for AT&T for quite a few years and Windstream for quite a few years. And the main difference between us and everybody else is this 1-800 number right here. If you become our customer and you have an issue, you call this number. A live person in our network operations center answers that call, verifies who you are, just to make sure everything's copacetic. He goes, all right, let me pull up your account. He pulls up your circuits. He goes, okay, you have an issue. He has 30 minutes to fix it. If he can't fix it in 30 minutes, we roll a truck for you. With AT&T and Windstream, yes, sir.
Got a question. So this is backup, pure backup now, correct?
This is backup. Yes, sir.
Okay, so somebody just put my AT&T line. What's the process for you, for it to cut over to you?
Okay.
Yeah, so are you talking about the process? So it's auto failover, right? So basically your AT&T circuit and the UPN circuit, United Private Networks, would go into your firewall and you configure it to auto failover to our circuit. Now, I will say something about enterprise only, like Larry said. We are all about mission critical applications and uptime. We built our network from the ground up as fiber, native fiber. There is no copper in our network. From Pine Bluff to our POP, our point of presence, our hub is in Little Rock, 325 West Capitol, in downtown Little Rock. We've got what?
One more question.
Yes, sir.
So what if our internet doesn't completely go down, but it's slowing down to a crawl? What then?
It also fails over, so you would actually configure your firewall to take the most optimal path. So if your circuit becomes unusable or suboptimal, it would fail over to ours. And now, honestly, you could use us as the primary and AT&T as a failover. It really doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter to us. You can load balance across them. One of the things that we've got built into our network is back to Little Rock. We've got, like I said, traversing. We've got 3 different paths. We've got a primary path up 530, and then we've got a path that goes down towards Sheridan and up.
Is that dark you were talking about?
No, it's not dark. It's actually lit fiber. So we've got 3 paths back to Little Rock. If you remember the ice storm year before last, right down 530, everybody went down. AT&T went down, Rear went down, V went down. I think we were first to restore, but we actually built that diversity both directions, including the primary path, to avoid
another incident like that. And I would say we're one of the only providers that do that. So
Okay.
that's what we bring to the table.
2 more minutes.
Um,
Any more
Jerry,
questions?
anything to say? We got 2 minutes.
No, so Jerry Flynn, 2 minutes, sir, I got you. I want to say thank you again for letting us come back in and be able to present to you. I would open it up for any questions that you might have, because there is some confusion around the service and how it works. Many of us take it for granted, the internet that we have inside the building and our facilities. And when it goes down, then we start asking a bunch of questions. So anytime you have questions, there's contacts in the back of this proposal. Please reach out to us, ask us. We would be glad to educate anybody on how the service works and how our service works. Yes, sir.
And he touched on the point, instead of being backup, you can be primary. And I see on here you guys have VoIP services with the SIPs and the trunks. Have you guys been contacted? I know once before, previously, you were in contact with Mr. Powell from the Sheriff's Office, the IT guy there. Have you guys looked into putting a proposal together to match everything that we have here with AT&T?
We have not yet. We did talk to him last year about it, and that kind of fell off the table when that opportunity did. Go ahead, Larry.
No, the sheriff's office, we were bidding a 1 gig circuit as a failover backup. That also includes the sheriff's office, the juvenile detention center, and then we have another bid for this facility, for the courthouse, for the same thing, a failover for their AT&T circuit here as well. So you've got 2 separate proposals.
But from
Well, he's talking about voice.
From a voice side,
We're not doing anything.
No, but we can't. We just have
We
to
can
ask
if you would like.
What's your up rate? Your uptime, reliability, 98, 99%?
Yes, I mean, I would say that, I mean, we'd actually pull reports. We don't actually have an SLA, because SLAs typically are contractual anyhow, unless, you know, they're 99.999% of the time. We actually don't have that, but we have references, enterprise customers that can tell you that, you know, outages are almost non-existent. It's just how we build our network.
Okay.
And the main thing is, like, you know, a long time ago, internet was a luxury. Now it's an everyday necessity. You have to have it for your business operations, government operations, hospital operations. They all have to have it. And
Okay.
with this phone number, yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
Time is almost up. Time is
I
almost
know,
up.
with this phone number, you will get immediate response, because with AT&T, Windstream, you have to go through a 4-step process. I used to work for AT&T, and you might be down for days. With us, we will get you back up as quick as possible. Yes, sir.
I want to say 2 things. The public meeting we had with the representatives of Jefferson and Center, said that the SLA was something that they didn't even worry about. Those people, I know I'm not going to put this, they don't see their time frame. And some of the things they said, you know, they've done something, some of the things they said the meeting didn't happen. The other thing I would say is the same thing I said to the other group, is that when you decide to come back, please make sure your information goes to the county clerk's office, so that all of us can be sure we are abreast of it, aware of it, and we can develop a greater partnership if possible. All right?
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Next, we'll have the treasurer's report, and that's Benicia Goodwin.
Good evening. I will be reporting for the month of April 2022. We had a beginning balance of $21,961,739.23. We had total revenue in the amount of $16,686,235.97, with expenditures for the month of April $10,866,250.76, giving us an ending balance on April 30th, $27,769,495.09. Included with your report is your T-note listing. We only have one T-note maturing in the month of May, and that's at the end of the month, so I will get with the depository board to make sure how we're reinvesting and where.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so glad I heard you say this. I have not been able to find local legislation that constituted the depository board here in Jefferson County. I know there's a state statute, but I have not been able to find where we have adopted the legislation to name ours and put it in place. And you've mentioned that now a couple of times. Do you know legislation that I'm overlooking that established the board?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. And the expenditures, how do we go into this budget and look for the breakout of how the departments are faring in their budget?
That will be information that you can receive from the county clerk's office. They give us, at the end of the month, all elected officials, we get a budget detail that tells us where we are, how much we've spent, what our actual budget was, how much we've spent, what we have left, and it gives the percentage amount of what we have.
What would I ask for at the clerk's office?
A budget detail.
Thank you, Ms. Goodwin. We're going to move on. Next, we'll have a reading and disposition of the minutes. Madam Secretary, would you do that for me, please?
The Jefferson County Quorum Court met for its regular meeting at, I'm sorry about that, at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 9, 2024. Judge Gerald Robinson called the meeting to order. Reverend Jimmy Fisher gave the invocation, and everyone cited the pledge allegiance to the flag. Tiffany Lowry, Chief Deputy Clerk, called the roll. The following members answered present upon calling their names: Reginald Adams, Roy Agee, Conley Byrd, Alfred Carroll, Melanie Dumas, Lloyd Franklin, Brenda Gaddy, Ted Harden, Danny Holcomb, Cedric Jackson, Patricia Johnson, Reginald Johnson, and Marguerite Williams. Judge Robinson presented the Pine Bluff High School Zebra basketball team with the plaque on winning the championship. The minutes for March 11, 2024 Quorum Court meeting were read out loud. Justice Ted Harden made a motion to approve the minutes, which was seconded by Justice Agee. Let's see, report of the committees, committee minutes. There were no committee meetings. Comments or questions from the public on the business before us. Justice Franklin asked to speak regarding the county road department layoffs and the two issues within the assessor's office, to which the county judge said they would discuss after the business before us. New business. A single motion was made by Justice Harding to suspend the rules and read all ordinance by title only and move to the...
Have a correction here. It's got moved to the third reading. It's not all of them, it's just where applicable, needs to be at the end of the reading. Because they're not all applies for a third reading. It's just where applicable, just insert where applicable after the third reading.
Okay, we'll make that correction. The motion passed with the roll call vote of 12 yeas and 1 nay. An appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 1006 ARP Revenue Replacement Fund was read. The appropriation was motioned by Justice Harden and seconded by Justice Agee. There was some discussion among the justices. The appropriation passed with the roll call vote of 12 yeas and 1 nay. An appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 3510 Recycling Resource Recovery Grant was read. The appropriation was motioned by Justice Harding and seconded by Justice Byrd. The appropriation passed unanimously. A resolution of the Jefferson County Quorum Court reading the appointment of members to the newly created Broadband Board was read. The resolution was motioned by Justice Patricia Johnson and seconded by Justice Dumas. The resolution passed unanimously. Announcements. Justin Franklin requested they finish the conversation from earlier and address the problem concerning the employee being employed in the assessor's office, and a policy needed to be in place to rectify the problem. The county judge suggested calling a special meeting since the county attorney was not present. Justice Franklin said the matter was pressing and should be discussed now, which the county judge stated they would not be discussing. The county judge asked for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Justice Harden made the motion and Patricia Johnson seconded, while Justice Franklin disagreed with the adjournment. No roll call vote was taken, and the following members left early: Justice Roy Agee, Conley Byrd, Ted Harden, Danny Holcomb, and Patricia Johnson. The meeting continued among the remaining justices. Assessor Gloria Tillman spoke about the issue concerning the employee working in her office prior to her being elected as assessor. She stated that she did not hire her daughter, who has been working in the assessor's office since 2016. She does not directly supervise her and has not been given a reason as to why there is a problem. A motion was made by Justice Carroll for Justice Franklin to continue as chair for the meeting, which was seconded by Justice Adam. A motion was made by Justice Adam to add the nepotism ordinance to the agenda, which was seconded by Justice Dumas. An ordinance amending the anti-nepotism policy for Jefferson County, Arkansas was read. The ordinance was motioned by Justice Reginald Johnson and seconded by Justice Jackson. The ordinance was passed with the roll call vote of 8 yeas and 5 absent. Adjournment. Motion was made by Justice Curl and seconded by Justice Dumas with the roll call vote of 8 yeas and 5 absent.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We'd like to say to reiterate in those notes that you did say that there was an adjournment, motion and second. And to make sure. No, with, before the meeting was, before they continued.
Yes, a motion and a second with no roll call vote.
Okay. All right. There's a motion and second. All in favor, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay.
Just may I ask a question?
Motion carries.
So,
Justice Carroll.
what is the law, rule on individuals bringing firearms to the courthouse?
Justice Carroll, you may want to make that statement to the, ask the sheriff that, but that's something that you can ask him after this meeting. We're going to proceed on to finish this meeting.
You are responsible for the facilities. I don't think the sheriff put a no detector down at the door, and so
Justice Carroll.
I'm concerned that if individuals around this table in this ordinance, particularly around this table, who are not licensed law enforcement officers, are carrying weapons, firearms.
You do recognize this is an open carry deal, right?
I do recognize that.
Okay. Well, Justice Carroll. Justice Carroll, that is something that we can address at a later date.
Are you carrying a weapon today, sir?
You're right, I do. So, again, that is something we can carry. Well, thank you.
I don't feel safe if you're carrying a weapon.
Well, we thank you so much. You're excused. Madam Secretary, would you, next we'll have the report of the committees. We'll have Human Resource, it's Justice Danny Holcomb.
We had 2 items up for a vote, those passed, the Finance Committee will be passed.
Okay, thank you, Justice Holcomb. Next we'll have Judicial, it's Justice Patricia Johnson.
Judge, we had one item on Tuesday and 2 on today. They were both passed to the Finance Committee with a due pass. That ends my report.
Thank you, Justice Johnson. Next we'll have Budget and Finance, Justice Ted Harden.
Judge, we had 3 items that came to us from the Judicial and Human Resources Committee. All were passed on to the full court with a due pass.
Okay, thank you, Justice Harden. Do we have any comments or questions from the public on the business before us? Okay, state your name, sir.
Reverend Henry Maxwell, Jr. I would like to know, will the payroll for the county be denied again?
What did you say your name was again?
Reverend Henry Maxwell, Jr.
Do you have a comment
Well,
on the business before us.
yes, I do.
Okay, that last question was not on the business before us, so, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then, the next question, take the business at hand. Why have you not given a written report explaining who was paid and for what work was done at the department, at the county road department? Some of the business that was done there.
Okay, I'm gonna look again. Are you saying the same thing I'm saying, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's not on the business before us, and so.
I'll try another question.
Oh, sir, this will be your last question, for sure.
The county road department budget for 2024 was set to cover 40 employees, while only 25 employed. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Your point of order. Got a point of Judge.
Justice Franklin.
I had actually 3 things. He brought another question I like.
Justice Franklin, the questions that he asked were not pertaining to the business before us?
No, it wasn't about his question. It was about the way that he asked the question. It's a question for the county attorney. Actually, I just got 3 quick questions here. One, is the quorum court stealing? 2, the meetings that we're having to hold, secondary meetings after the meeting of your agenda, are they illegal? And the 3rd question is, during comments for the public, does it have to be detailed on the business before us? Because if it has to be on the business before us, where does the general public go to speak to the quorum court about complaints and concerns that's not on the agenda? Those are the 3 questions. I don't know if those are questions for you or those questions directed to the county attorney. Yeah, so 3 questions. Number 1 is, because we hear Floyd saying it every day, the quorum court is stealing money. We want to know the answer to that. Is the quorum court stealing money? If so, who stole it and how did we get it? Second question is, the secondary meetings we're having with a separate agenda because of items that you won't put on your agenda, are the meetings that we're calling as the majority of the quorum court illegal? And the 3rd question is, comments from the public, does it have to be confined to the parameters of business before us, because there's no other place for general public to speak on items that they have problems with in the county? If they have a problem with the assessor and they're not getting business handled, she can't come in front of the quorum court and complain. General citizens can't complain about anything unless it's on the agenda before us, because if it's your agenda, 90% of the stuff that comes through don't make it to your agenda. So those are 3 questions that I feel like the majority of the quorum court wants answered. So we can start with a quick yes and no from you on this one. Is the quorum court stealing or have they stolen?
Justice Franklin, I think that's something that you need to talk with a legal attorney about.
Well,
that's something that you need to talk to an attorney about. As far as the meetings being illegal or not, that's something that you need to talk to your attorney about. And so, to each one of your deals.
We're gonna run it to
No, you're not gonna run it to the county attorney, because
so you're gonna hold it to yourself.
No. No, Attorney Franklin. Justice Franklin.
Said that it's illegal. So
no,
are our legals, in your opinion,
listen.
Listen, it's a conversation, and we prepared to sit here and wait.
You can sit as long as. No.
Everybody in here,
Justice Franklin, you are out of order. You are out of order.
We want to know whether our meetings are illegal or not. Every elected official here want to know.
Are out
the public
of order.
Want to know right now, are our meetings
Justice
illegal?
Franklin.
Yes or no?
You are out of order.
Yes or no?
Ask your attorney. Do you have an attorney?
Yes or no?
Do you have an attorney?
Yes or no?
Do you have an attorney?
You won't pay our attorney. Intentionally.
Do you have an attorney?
Intentionally. We don't know.
Do you have one?
Apparently we don't.
Okay. Well,
you won't pay him, Kyle won't represent.
You are out of order. You are out of order.
I'm out of order.
You're out of order.
Are we really?
So we're gonna move on.
Yes or no? So
we're gonna move on.
Is he the county attorney?
We're gonna move on. You know that we are under litigation.
That ain't got nothing to do with
it. It does. Yes, it does.
How so?
Justice Franklin, you're out of order.
Explain it.
Let's move,
Litigation.
we're gonna
What
move
does it
on.
have to do with?
Madam Secretary, move on.
Nah, we gonna hold on this.
No, we're not gonna hold on this.
We're not finna vote on
Madam
this.
Secretary,
we need to hear
move,
from
I
the
don't care,
attorney.
look, you can vote it up, vote it down.
You just gonna overtalk?
Move on.
You just gonna not let the
I'm
public
gonna
know what's
overtalk
going
like
on?
you gonna overtalk.
Quorum court stealing?
Anybody from the public that
Is there
got any
litigation
questions that
on
they
this?
wanna ask the county judge can feel free to make an appointment and come
We
see the
having
county
illegal
judge.
meetings? That what
Madam
you're saying?
Secretary,
That's what you
move on.
told Floyd? Meetings illegal? Are they? We can get an answer right now. He's
Justice-
sitting right there,
Justice
and he's been the
Frank.
county attorney for several years. He can tell you right
Justice-
now whether
Justice
that means
Frank.
illegal, unless you don't want the public to know.
Hey, Justice Frank, you
just
do a
wanna leave it out
whole,
there
you
like
do
we
a
have illegal meetings.
whole lot of talking.
You can solve
You
it
do
right
a
now.
whole lot of
You can
talking
stop
and
blocking
ain't
and
getting
solve it all
nowhere.
right now, in 30 seconds.
Ain't getting nowhere. You have an attorney, we're under litigation. And
we
so
having meetings
get your
illegal or
answer,
not?
ask your
Are they
attorney.
legal or illegal?
So we're gonna move on. Madam Secretary, move on. Madam, Justice Williams, we're gonna move on because we see where this going.
I usually don't make comments, but I think it's important. I don't worry about what people say on the radio. I don't have a dime to steal from Quorum Court. No money comes to our hand. We're legislators. We appropriate money, and we legislate money. No money comes to our hand. That should answer that for you, Lord. You need the rest of it.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Williams. Let's move on. Madam Secretary, move on.
Second question.
Justice Franklin.
Today,
Justice Franklin, we are moving on.
we're moving on, but this is about the agenda and items. We got 2 meetings scheduled for today.
Okay,
We got the Quorum Court's agenda and your agenda. So I'm
this
asking
is
you
the
this.
Quorum Court.
Can we combine all of these items together
Justice Franklin.
and get out of here in one
Justice
meeting?
Franklin.
I'm asking
We're gonna
a simple
move on.
question.
Listen, we're gonna
Can we
move on to new
combine the
business.
items to one meeting?
Justice Franklin,
Is that a yes or no? I'm asking the members of this body.
you can
do they
ask whatever
mind
you want to. I
combining?
preside over this meeting.
That's fine. You preside and
I'm
you carry
presiding
out
over this
our
meeting.
motions that we do. that
I'm
we
presiding
put
over
up,
this meeting.
We put forward.
You're out of
can't do
order.
nothing
Will you
without
be
a vote
quiet,
second.
please?
I'm talking.
Madam Secretary, move on. Read.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Thank you.
An appropriation ordinance to appropriate funds to 1906 Jefferson County Pure Support, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Jefferson, State of Arkansas. Article 1, the county judge is hereby authorized to appropriate funds for $89,238.25 to 1906-414 Jefferson County Superior Support as detailed in the attachment. 1906-414, line 1906-414, 1001 salaries, 65,921.26. 1906-414,
Clerk,
yes.
The new business item on your report says that we can do this by title only. We can read the ordinances by title only, and I don't think it would be necessary for you to read the entire amendments themselves. I would move that we suspend the rules and have the approval of that.
So are you making a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to have them.
Motion has been made and properly seconded to suspend the rules. Any questions?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I don't agree with suspending the rules. I don't agree with reading by title only because it hides whatever is in the ordinance from the general public. But here's one thing that I will say. Quorum Court members, we have to come here and sit in these meetings, and we have to come and read things 3 times to pass it because of the few people of the minority that won't sit for both meetings, and they dictate county government. Now, if y'all want to suspend the rules and read by title only, that's fine. But there is no reason for us to suspend the rules and move it to its 3rd reading when we have to come to 3 meetings to pass anything that any other elected official wants other than the county judge and people that are friends to him. So if you want to suspend the rules and go by title only, that's fine. But as far as it's moving it to its 3rd reading, if they can't give you the common decency to attend the attendance where you can suspend it to the 3rd reading, why are we suspending the rules and moving it to the 3rd reading for them? They should have to come 3 times to 3 different meetings to read it just like we do. Now that's just common sense. If they're not doing you any favors for a year and a half, we have to come and read things at 3 separate readings to pass anything. Why are we suspending the rules for them to get out of here in one time?
I make a motion, we vote it up or vote it down.
Judge, I have a comment. I don't believe that we have all the ordinances to require a reading by three times. I think there are some that do and some don't. So
Okay.
not all of the ordinances have to be read.
All of these are appropriation
Okay.
I
ordinances.
call for a vote.
Okay, a motion has been made and second. All those
Adams,
in favor?
What are we voting on?
We're voting on to
suspend the rules.
So motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? All
Suspend the
those-
rules for what? Let's clarify that.
Suspend the
Read all the
rule
ordinances in their entirety or by
by title
as we
only.
pass?
By title only. That was your motion.
If it's appropriation, it has to be read 3 times on 3 different readings unless you suspend the rules and move it to its 3rd reading and it's passed by a supermajority,
So
which
it
would be
has-
9 people.
It has been motion and second to read by title only where applicable. So there's been a motion and a second.
Title only. Is it title only? Title only. Okay.
I got the motion in second, so I need
We did a whole
Okay.
We just
Let's go with a vote. Go with the vote.
Title only. This
Go
ain't
with the
third
vote.
reading.
Go with the
Move
vote.
to the 3rd reading.
No, whoa, wait, hold on.
There are some ordinances that require 3 readings.
Clarification.
Attorney,
This is to suspend the rules and
Suspend the
read
rules by
all
title.
ordinance by title only.
That's right.
That's the end of it.
Okay.
You heard what she
So-
said. There's no extra, just title only.
Justice Franklin, let's get on with it. Go ahead with the vote.
Adams. AG. Byrd. Carroll. Dumas.
Good, Chad.
Franklin.
Yes.
Gaddy.
Yes.
Hardin.
I'm confused about what we're voting on.
It gives you a motion. Ted, it's
To
by title
suspend the
only.
rules and read all by title only. Holcomb.
Yes.
Jackson. Patricia Johnson. Reginald Johnson. Marguerite Williams.
Don't read by title only. Is that your vote? Yes?
Okay.
Okay. All right, Madam Secretary? Yes. Okay, go ahead, Madam Secretary.
An appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 1906 6th Division, Jefferson County Peer Support.
Move the adoption.
Motion has been made and properly second. Any questions?
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
It seems like you're about to move the roll call, unless it's just a formality. That was the first reading, so. Move on with it. Hey, if that's how you want to do it, go ahead and do it. You know what you're doing. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Madam Secretary. Motion been made and second. All in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Madam Secretary, next.
An appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 3505 Drug Court Accountability.
Motion has been made and properly second. Any questions? All in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Madam Secretary?
An appropriation ordinance to provide an appropriation to fund 1,000 County General 5th Division.
Move the adoption.
Motion has been made and properly second. Any questions? All in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Time for the vote. All in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
This meeting is adjourned.
And let me put this little announcement out there.
Let me put this out. Ladies and gentlemen.
You read the title
Ladies and
one
gentlemen.
time, instead
Ladies
of
and
3
gentlemen.
times. We did not vote by a roll call vote, so everything we just did, nothing was passed today. So I see y'all at the next quorum court meeting. When you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing.
And say a third reading where applicable.
It ain't no applicable.
Yeah.
Third
Well,
reading is either in the
yeah.
motion or it's not. We didn't
All right,
pass-
all right, Mr. Know-it-all.
You the judge, you right.
Yeah, I know it.
Did none of them pass. Nothing passed.
Uh-huh.
Tell you, all of them take 3 readings. Any ordinance takes 3 readings. You only read it once. Nothing passed.
That's not what the attorney told me.
He didn't tell you nothing. I bet you y'all be back and read them again.
He told me that before I made my.
Oh, I know what your
And we
motion was.
passed.
We didn't pass anything. Nothing
We,
passed.
not tonight, but we passed it previously.
We didn't pass nothing tonight. It was a joke. Waste of time.
I am.
You don't know the rules.
No,
You got people
I'm
that
not.
don't want to listen.
I'm not.
Didn't that what you advised me?
You read some more time. Oh, Karen, you understand?